Hey everybody, I'm Seth.
This is Lance.
Welcome to episode 17 of the No Hype Zone.
Yes, sir.
The show where you talk about being a fan or you give your predictions as a fan, but you also want to take your fan hat off for 5 seconds and speak critically on your favorite team or your least favorite team, so to speak. Today is what? June 13th, Thursday. We've been doing a couple shows in the middle of the week because I've been gone last couple weekends.
So famous. I keep trying to say that the last show. You know, he's a celebrity. He's a world traveler. He's going everywhere.
Is Vegas being a world traveler?
Yeah, I mean, you still, you know, you can't be here. You missing days. I mean, you don't even work no more. You don't even have to work. I mean, you got that type of money. I mean,
that's why I got to give you my clients when I'm gone.
Oh, ain't
hey,
that something?
Train my people.
Yeah, like I need. Okay.
Speaking of training, if you want to come train with us over at Atlas Performance Training in Chandler, Arizona, we have 13 trainers here. We'd love to have you guys hang out with us.
Right, got some good trainers.
I was in Mexico 2 weeks ago. That was pretty fun with my family and a bunch of other families, so it was really cool. That's why I'm a little
glad you made it back, because a lot of people that's worn
Dominican Republic, you see that?
The border, there's some stuff going on. I don't know. The Big Papi shooting was terrible.
Big Papi, yeah, real quick, man.
Oh,
if you guys got to check out this video, the surveillance video, just boop, right in the back.
That looked like a robbery or an assassination.
That looked like a little bit of both.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
They was trying to take him straight out.
Yeah.
And I'm glad Big Papi was able to survive that. He's been an ambassador not only for the sport of baseball, but you see that Boston went ahead and sent a plane down there to go get him.
Yeah.
And I don't want to get into the speculation on why he got shot and all that. It's a bunch of rumors out there. We don't do all that stuff. But, you know, I just hate to see somebody like Big Papi deal with that. He's such a fun person. And, you know, of course, that's what they show us on the camera. But, you know, it's still Big Papi. You know, I think championships with the Red Sox.
You know, being a Red Sox fan, homer, I feel kind of bad, but hopefully he's in good condition. They say he is, so it's good.
Yeah, that's good.
But moving on, I want to say this is our last show in here for a little while because next Wednesday is our big debut on AM Sports 1060.
Ding, ding.
From 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Every Wednesday.
The Peacock.
Yeah, NBC Sports, and SB Sports Nation as well. So yeah, we're on late at night, but we're gonna have they podcast that as well. So you can go to the website that they have, and you can, if you miss it, like Mom, if you miss the show, all I gotta do is the next day go to the website, and just click on the podcast and whatnot.
You know, your mom pat me on the back in the day. I didn't even know who they was, but they knew who I was because they watched the show.
See, so you're famous, man.
Mom and Dad, nah.
Don't talk about me, it's you, dude.
Please.
Yeah. Right on. We do want to say thank you to True Tankless Water Heater. They are sponsoring our first 4 shows, so we want to give a shout out to them. If your water heater takes a crap, and if you need a smaller space, TrueTanklessWaterHeater.com.
That's a nice intro. That's
what they tell you like that?
Water heater takes a crap.
Yeah,
I like that.
Literally,
that was
it's
professionally done. That was just awesome. If your water heater takes a crap, True Tankless Water heater.
Yes.
I said it.
It's small, it's compact, it lasts for a lifetime, so do it
only when your water heater takes a crap. Remember that. Okay. So,
very professional.
Yes, that's very professional. And we want to thank all of our people that's going to be helping us out. Darwin, Boss So Hard. I want to thank Jeanette and her, I think it's the wellness, beauty thing. She does Botox and she does like aesthetic stuff and B12 shots. Brian, who signed in Print Express, will be sponsoring us as well. You know, Rise Fit, which is my training, is going to be sponsoring. Then Alice with Seth and Travis and Dan is going to be sponsoring that, and everybody who's in the Alice family. So, you know, Santana at the firm, Santana and George, they're going to be sponsoring us. All the people that's going to be out there to kind of help us out a little bit, we want to tell you thank you. This is all what we do. We just water cooler guys who talk sports, and you know, we give us the opportunity to do what we love to do. At nighttime, we texting each other about games. So
that's kind of how we got started.
Yeah, just talking
with water cooler stuff. You know,
water cooler.
We're not the best analysts in the world.
Actually, we
just give our opinions.
We dumb and stupid analysts. Yeah. We don't know a thing. We just watch. We watch the same stuff that y'all watch. We watch the sports centers. We watch the first takes, around the horns. the Colin
Cowherd. Big view shout out, Colin.
Right.
You inspired me to do this, my man.
The Herd, well, that's the Herd. That's what he has, right? Then you got Marcellus Wiley and those cats. I forgot. Speak for Yourself and all the guys that's on Fox and ESPN and just TNT. We just sports heads. We just love sports. So again, we just want to tell you thank you, and want to thank Chris for giving us this opportunity, and Dan and Travis, again, they managers here with Seth, for allowing us to do this, and all the trainers that that got to maneuver in and out of here when we're doing the show. So I just want to tell you guys thank you, appreciate you guys.
And we may not always be right, which is okay.
Which is 98% of the time.
I can admit when I'm wrong.
I can too, which is all the time. So
all the time? Come on, man.
I mean, man, it's a crapshoot.
It's just only on your Russell Westbrook takes. That's it.
There you go. See? There you go.
Right out of the gate.
Yeah, I tried to be soft, gentler, a more kind Lance, and then he has to pull me. Every time I try to get out, they try to pull me back in. I'm not talking.
We do because it's easy.
I'm not talking.
It's very easy.
That's not easy. I'm not talking Russell Westbrook today. See, I'm focused.
We'll see how long that lasts. Speaking of Russell Westbrook.
See, I'm not talking Russell Westbrook.
Go on basketball.
God,
I just want to get right into
he's
basketball.
Not playing.
I know he's not playing.
Yeah, but
I'm trying to make a segue into what we want to talk about.
How does Russell Westbrook deal with?
Because he plays basketball.
Yeah, but a lot of people play basketball.
And he plays with KD.
See, there you
your
go.
Boy. Is he your boy or not your boy?
KD, I'm in love with KD. As you can see, I've been wearing KD shirts pretty much all week long in tribute to KD. I feel like you ever had an argument with somebody and you just don't talk to them for a long time?
Sure.
And then you just all of a sudden realize that you miss this person and you need them in your life.
So it takes that for you to realize, oh, hey, maybe KD is really this awesome.
No, I've always said KD was awesome. I was just mad at KD for leaving my boys. And when he left.
So that's hype.
Yes, exactly.
Pure hype.
1,000, a million, a billion, gazillion % hype. It has.
And that's okay to have hype. Like,
yeah.
We're fans.
Right.
We're fans first, and then would you say opinion guys next?
Well, I don't think, fans, most fans, that's all they are, is opinionated anyway. I mean, when you like your team, it's a reason why you like your team. You like in Boston, it's a reason why you like Boston. Maybe because you hated all the hype coming out of New York, which you living in Buffalo, and everybody big Yankees and Mets fans, made you want to like the opposite team. Me, I like the Dodgers because my father was a huge Cubs fan. I love the Cubs. I love the Cubs because my father made fun of the White Sox, but I hated the emotion that my father brought to the table with the Cubs, and I love the way that my grandfather allowed me to love baseball without whether or not if they win or lose, it meant whether I was going to talk to them or not. And that, me and my father's relationship was really great, but that's my love affair with LA sports, because LA sports, it was not, nobody was gambling on the sports. It didn't mean that, somebody was mad. It was just, you just like it or you didn't like it. Showtime with the Lakers, the Raiders when they was out there playing. The Kings was they really wasn't doing too much. Right. When they got Gretzky was a big splash.
I have that hockey card. 88 tops, 87 tops, 88 tops.
Okay.
I have that.
Okay, and then, in the Dodgers, of course, we had, Steve Sachs was one of my favorite players back in the day.
That's old school.
With the Dodgers. Right, so I used to go and so, that is just,
Isn't it crazy, speaking on that, like how sports can play with your emotions. I remember being in grade school and high school, the Bills would lose. I'm from Buffalo. The Bills would lose a game on Sunday, and the next day in school on Monday, everyone is distraught. Everyone's mad. Even the teachers are like, oh man. Yeah. Even when we lost the Super Bowls in grade school, it's like, hey, if they win, no school on Monday.
Right.
We all had to come to school for 4 years in a row on the next Monday. Just
so that's
so distraught.
That's one of my biggest reasons why when someone starts to talk political or they bring any other element into sports outside of sports, I'll fight. Because sports with me is like my connection with my dad. And this being Father's Day, my father's passing and everything. I'm not going to allow anybody to take that from me. That puts blood through my system. As a kid, I said, I did a speech at my graduation saying how much I just love sports. Sports reflect the men in my life, the women in my life, and all that other crap that goes along with it, I can't take it.
But that's how we connect. I connect with my family through sports. Right. My brother lives in Ohio, so that's why I connect with him with the Ohio State Buckeyes. Mm-hmm. I got one of my other best friends back in Buffalo. He and I are the only Boston fans. John Habistro, that's a shout out to you, my friend.
Okay, John, what's up, man?
That's how we connect. Even my mom, when I call her or talk to her back in Buffalo, Sabres talk, Bills talk, a little here and there. Even with my dad's a big Red Sox fan, Hey, Dad, you see the Red Sox game?
That's
Yeah, you know.
Yes. Okay, I didn't know that.
Yes.
Happy Father's Day, Dad. I didn't know that. I didn't know that he was a big Red Sox fan. So happy Father's Day, Dad.
Yeah, that's right. This Sunday.
This Sunday. That's what I'm saying. We talking Father's Day type stuff, but you know, not to kind of take away from the Father's Day, but I kind of, it made me feel good. My mom called me yesterday, and my mom, you know, she's dealing with some stuff. She's 77 years old, but it's funny how she wants to get the bracket for the tournament. And how she's like calling me, what time the game starts? Not, hey, how you doing? It's what time the game starts. Yep. And that's how my family is centered around sports. You already met my sister, so you know my brother's the only one that's I
met your sister.
Yeah, conspiracy. Yeah, well, it's bandwagon. You gotta take it's not conspiracy.
Right.
Her and her whole Martin family is on bandwagons, just like the rest of my family who all of a sudden become Golden State fan. Let me tell you the history behind that. That happened because OKC, I was so on to Russell Westbrook that my dad started liking Golden State. That's how our relationship was. So he started liking Golden State, and when Mark Jackson was there, because Oklahoma City and Golden State was having that rivalry, he had everybody influenced into Golden State. Now, people who don't know anything about basketball, all of a sudden, Golden State. My sister just like Brittany said, light-skinned guys with curly hair. So she like, Klay Thompson. Yeah. She said Steph, but I know it's really Klay. Yeah. I know who it is. It's really Klay. Yeah. But, and then the other cats in my family, they don't know what they talking about. They just jumping on the bandwagon because, hey, let's just have a reason to party. Let's celebrate.
Sure.
They don't know nothing about basketball.
The same thing with my dad, being a big Ohio State fan when my brother moved there. 4 years ago, Ohio State lost to Michigan State in the playoffs, or not the playoffs, or the Big Ten championship game, which didn't allow them to go to the playoffs that year after they won the title, by the way, in 2014. For a whole year, my dad would answer the phone like this. I call the phone, or I call home, he'd go, Michigan State. For a whole year. He wouldn't say hi, what's going on, Seth? That was the first thing out of his mouth. Thanks, bro.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, that's how he jabbed at me. And then he became a Michigan fan because of my big Ohio State fandom. He's like, it's no fun if we're both rooting for the same team in the same household. Yep. It's more fun if we're kind of poking each other.
Man, my dad.
I get it.
Hey, your father is cool. Hey, I'm saying it again, Dad. Happy Father's Day. My dad ain't here, so I'm with Seth. I'm going to live vicariously through him. Happy Father's Day to all you dads out there. We don't get a lot of props and a lot of recognition. Matter of fact, every time you hear something, it's always the dad is the problem. And people don't understand how important dads are in people's lives and the roles that we play. And, in my situation, a little bit sketchy with my kids right now, but, it's still to the point where I know that, how my dad influenced me, grandfathers, and, I just want to tell all the fathers out there that's trying to do what they can do, hey, much love to you. You need a pat on the back.
Okay, that was a long intro.
Yeah, that was a beautiful intro.
That was a long soliloquy.
It's family. You look at people like Dan, look at Chris, bringing their family, their kids around. I just felt like it was just time to give Father's Day props,
Fair enough.
Yes, sir.
All right, so let's go into Game 5, the last game that the Warriors and Toronto played.
Okay.
That's a game where, I hate to say it, KD's now out for a minimum of 9 months. I think he scored, 12 points in 12 minutes until he hurt himself, unfortunately.
He scored 11 points.
He scored 11 points?
11 points. He went 3 for 5 from field goal. He went 3 for 3 from the 3-point, 3 for 5 field goals, 2 for 2 from the free throw line, 2 rebounds. Stephen A. Smith said it best. He was on his way to drop 40 on him as fast as he could, and it just all snapped.
And even without him, they still found a way to win. Yeah. Even when they were up the whole game, then Toronto came roaring back when Kawhi had, 10 consecutive points at the end. And then everyone keeps talking about this. Well, first of all, Toronto didn't score a bucket in the last 3 minutes, 28 seconds. Now everyone's talking about this timeout that Nick Nurse called with 3:05 left and how it screwed the what up of the game? The synergy. Yes.
And the flow up.
Yes.
Kawhi was definitely, I don't know if synergy is the right word to use for that one. The only reason why is because Kawhi was just hot. And Kawhi he was struggling the majority of the game. I was telling my wife when I was watching the game.
What were his points?
Kawhi ended up with 26. He went 9 for 24 from the field goal.
That's not
Kawhi, right?
Yeah,
he was 2 from 7 from the 3-pointer. He was 6 from 8 from the free throw line. He gave you 12 rebounds. He gave you 12 rebounds. He gave you 6 assists. But I was telling my wife throughout the game, and I said that Toronto is a Kawhi away from winning this game. Right. Kawhi wasn't being Kawhi. And then as soon as he inserted
Was he tried too hard?
I don't know if he was
a little out of his element because he doesn't 24 shots a game for him is a lot.
Right.
He's one of the most efficient players in the league.
Right.
Him and LeBron. 9 out of 24, you said?
9-24. I'm gonna tell you one thing I seen, Seth, and one of the things was this: no hype. Golden State had the advantage if they could have just let KD just run around there, and if he would have just did a Klay Thompson game, catch and shoot, without dribbling. Don't put the ball down. Don't try to do anything. Just run around there, catch and shoot. Be in the post. Let's mask you in the post so you don't have to do a lot defensively. Let's save you. See how your game, how your legs feel, and then see what you can do game 6. The reason why I say that is because Kawhi was sticking KD. You got Kawhi sticking KD because he's such a threat. That takes pressure off of Steph. That takes pressure off of Klay. That lets Draymond do what he has to do. When you got Kawhi sticking Steph, Klay, and Draymond, they locked up, or they have to do other things to get their shot off. So I'm thinking, to answer your question, why was Kawhi off a little bit? I'm thinking Kawhi was so focused on not letting KD go off that offensively he wasn't there. And then when KD was gone and that element was there where he wasn't coming back, he was able to focus more on just taking over the game.
But hindsight's always 20/20.
Right.
You know, and how you said how they should have played.
Yeah.
I think we use that term too much. People are saying even now with the KD injury, like, why they let him play,
Right.
all this stuff. But then if he didn't play, all the fans would be like, KD, how come you didn't play? Like, take one for the team, bro.
Yeah, stupid.
Which is horrible, you know? So it's almost damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Yeah.
You know, especially being, a star player like KD.
Right.
And the rabbit ears that he has with all those burner accounts and whatnot. He listens to the fans too much, you know?
Everything.
Look what Kawhi did back in San Antonio.
Yeah.
All the fans were like, screw you. Even his players called him out. He was mad at that.
Right.
He was like, no, man, I'm going to heal this thigh up or
Right.
quad or whatever he had injured.
Right.
Look at him now.
Right.
If he would have played back then, he could have been hurt like KD is right now, and he's out for a minimum of, 9 months?
He's got the whole 2021 season now. The thing about KD, though, KD had a Jones injury or Jones.
Talking about the calf?
The injury he had before when I believe he was at OKC.
And he's had ankle and knee problems his whole career almost, yeah.
And they saying that Jones injury he had, I don't know the depth and the information on that. I just, from what I'm hearing is that could be worse than the Achilles, but playing basketball, Achilles is almost like paralyzing your player because of the type of movement. Although there's players that came back from the Achilles, Dominique Wilkins was the one that came back very successfully. You got a bunch of Kobe.
He had a knee and a
but the Achilles, he was never the same.
But he was also 34 when he hurt himself.
And that's the problem with KD. And
he's 31.
He's 31. When Dominique hurt his Achilles, he was young and he was able to come back. So the thing is, the Achilles is one of those areas where you don't want to mess up as a basketball player because it can alter your career. As far as KD going out there, when you're talking about we could retract everything and him having rabbit ears and listen to the crowd, that has always been his biggest thing. Now I'm going to go into my hype.
Kryptonite.
I'm going to go into my hype now. My hype is if KD is big like this, and this was one of the reasons why he decided to go to Golden State, was because of the fact that he was listening to LeBron got a championship, Golden State got a championship. You one of the best in this era. You're not going to get a championship playing with OKC. Regardless, whether it's playing with Russell, whether it's playing with the system at OKC. And literally, he was on the cusp of winning and bringing a title, to me, hype-wise, to OKC the following year. That's the reason why he got so much backlash. Now that the Achilles is torn, the thing that he was chasing, championships, respect, being put up there as one of the top ball players, is there now. He had to sacrifice an Achilles. But if KD never...
Is it really worth it, though?
To me, it wasn't worth it because of the playing in the rehab. But KD doesn't have to play no more basketball. And then you ain't hearing too many...
31.
I think that KD is an icon. KD is going to go down as the 2000 version, 2019, 2020 version of Willis Reed without coming back and winning the game. But to me, those 11 points helped Golden State win. I know you said that didn't.
But it's one game, so what? Now that he's out, now he can't contribute at all. So now we have Game 6 tonight.
Right, but see, think about it. If he didn't,
so they got him there, or he got him there to Game 6.
He got him to Game 6.
But then you're just denying the inevitability. It's a big word. So what's the point?
The point is this: with KD, it was always about getting his status right.
So he already has it because he has 2 rings and 2 MVPs in those championship games. Now the big talk, in the offseason is, him going to a different team, like the Knicks. I don't know
Why?
I understand that because he wants to build his own team all by himself. With who? Who in New York is he going to do that with?
But the point is why?
But by himself?
Right.
He can't do it by himself.
So you got Jordan,
but
you got LeBron, you got all these people that's trying to get on the Rushmore.
Right.
KD didn't want to be a great player just in this era. He wanted to go down as an all-time great, and it's hard to do that in the shadow of LeBron and then go to State.
But then why didn't he stay in OKC then?
That's
with Westbrook.
Exactly. That's the point. You get it right on the head. That's the reason why everybody shot him down, because you should have stayed in OKC because OKC was your team. Everybody else who was chirping, talking about Russell is this alpha dog and all that other stuff, it was burning his ears up. So he went to go win a championship, and he got this championship. But with that championship, it's like, I like to use a lot of Bible quotes, but it's like, what profits a man to gain the whole world and lose his soul? He won a freaking championship, but then people saying, you bandwagon, you jumped on this team they could have won without you. You can clearly see right now, without KD, Golden State is not that juggernaut team.
But they're 34-4 without him this year anyway, or in the past couple of years.
You're right. So they can win.
They can win without him. They won without him before. They won a championship against LeBron. But then again, so now I've heard this argument. Some of my guys were texting me, "Hey, if Toronto wins this championship, are they not going to be considered a legit champion because they didn't have KD or Looney is out?"
No.
And my argument was, when LeBron played at Golden State the first time, it was LeBron and it was Dellavedova.
Yeah.
Because Kyrie was out. Kyrie was out with a knee, and then Kevin Love was out with a shoulder.
Right.
So do we say, hey, Golden State's first championship is not legit because I never heard that once.
Right.
But how can we then say that about Toronto?
Because
injuries are part of the game. Everyone's injured. Even guys in Toronto are injured, man.
Because technology, 2020, everybody's analyst. Look at us. We on YouTube and we doing a sports show that we was doing for fun. All of a sudden we getting on the radio, and that's just, everybody feels like I could be an instant something celebrity. Right. So let me go ahead and throw in my points.
Sure.
Toronto, this is not going to be a legit championship. As far as I'm concerned, Golden State snatched life out of the jaws of death when they won that Game 5.
Sure.
If Toronto wins Game 6, They won it because they put Golden State on their back. I think the problem with Golden State going into this finals was trying to figure out ways to insert Boogie, insert KD.
Boogie doesn't look right. His legs aren't back. Like, he doesn't have his game speed up. Like, he's making mistakes left and right.
His wave. He's in the wave. He's in the wave. I think now, like, that Game 5, you notice he didn't really play. He didn't play until the second.
He played at the end with that move. You see that moving pick at the end? Right. He was like, what? Like, come on, bro. That was moving.
What I mean by he did play, I don't want to say he didn't play. Yeah. They didn't think about putting him in there until KD went down. And he was sitting on the bench because of his horrific performance in Game 4.
Right.
Game 4, he was playing horrible. But he had a great Game 2. Game 2 when they won back in Toronto. He had a great Game 2. Game 3 and 4, he looked horrible. Game 5, he started off looking a little bad, but yet still he was making mistakes here and there, but that hustle and that determination, I couldn't think of a better person to walk around and, to be considered the hero of this final than Boogie. With everything that he done dealt with, I think that he's going to be, if they win Game 6 and 7, it's going to be because of the efforts of Boogie. And Boogie needs a contract. Boogie's been with the leg injury. Yeah. He's been he took a sacrifice to be with Golden State. His body is I promise everybody we're going to talk about Westbrook, but it's relevant right now. It's relevant. The reason why when you're injured like Boogie was, it takes you a while to get back to game speed and get your synergy of your body back to where it was.
And not only that, just be comfortable on the leg that was injured, especially with an Achilles. Like, every time you make a cut, in your mind, you're like, oh, shoot, is this going to be the cut that I make that re-injures myself and whatnot? You see this a lot in football. Guys in the offseason don't do much, then they go practice. That's why you see a lot of, like, non-contact injuries during OTAs or mini camps and whatnot, because guys are going from 0 to 100, basically, and then you make that cut and boom, pop. Right. Just like when you see the KD injury, he was trying to go from his right to his left, so he tried to push up that right leg and then pop. Pop. So in the future, when he comes back, who knows if he's even going to come back next year.
Well, Jalen Rose and Max Kellerman, I like to give credit where credit's due. They made a great point. KD's game was never predicated on him.
No, he's a shooter.
He's a shooter. So with that being said, he has a better chance on returning to form than most players who only play with their athleticism.
Like take Derrick Rose for example, right? Like his body was too sinewy or too like poppy for his legs. His fast switch was like he blew his knees out twice basically, because he was too quick for his own body essentially.
And that's where I bring the Russell relevance in, because players that only rely on their athleticism, especially if you got somewhat of an average jump shot, all that gets thrown out. Below average, whatever. But see, I'm talking about. I'm trying to be smart. Okay, but the point is, it takes you a while to get back to who you was. Sure. Derrick Rose won a couple of years. Boogie is under pressure to try to get back to who he is, and people don't give you the grace for that. People only remember you for being who you were. So just like when you talked about how Boogie went on to say, and we don't normally talk about this, how mean the fans was in Toronto, and I countered that argument saying, basically because of what I was hearing the talking heads say, that, guys pay you to be an athlete. Yeah, Canada responded wrong originally, but some people say that was a sign of respect because they knew, and I even text Chris. Matter of fact, I text Chris.
I understand.
When KD came in, when KD put on him, when KD hit the first three,
it's like Superman.
I was like, it's done. If I'm Toronto and I'm a Toronto fan, I'm going to the bathroom every 2 seconds because I can't hold my water because KD is looking like sugar honey iced tea. He's about to come out here and scorch us. And sure enough, when he went down, the fans of Toronto had a couple of things in play. A, we got a chance. We didn't think we had a chance without KD. And then when they realized how serious the situation was, they turned it around.
Yes, I agree. I think it's a little misguided for people to be like, oh, hey, they were berating him, or that's mean that they were, cheering that he got injured. Right. I think what you said is, it was like, oh, shoot, KD is here. Now when he got injured, it's like, we're glad that he's out, but we're not glad that he's injured. Essentially, if that makes sense. Because they're smart people up in Toronto. They're not. I don't think it was malicious.
They're not as according to our fans, they really polite as far as how they do things. Like, screw you, you can't play. Pardon me. That type of thing. You suck. Yeah. Excuse me.
But also part of that could be, the previous game when that the part owner of the Warriors pushed Kyle Lowry.
That could be too, and I think once again that's a situation where, that's who knows what that situation. That's one of the things where, again, that's taking it out of the sports element because the guy pushed him, not making excuses. You don't put your hands on nobody, and like Jalen Rose had said one time, and I think it was I think it was Marcellus Wiley I was listening to, and he said, if you see Kyle Lowry on the street, that same owner wouldn't think about doing that.
Correct.
But all of a sudden he got a cup of courage, and because of where he was at, and then he decided to push Kyle out. It happens in sports. It sucks. Or the guy could have been so drunk, not making excuses for him. Could have been. I'm not saying he drinks, so I don't know if he drinks.
Right.
But who knows what was going on? Situation pushing, not excusing it, but again, he pushed the man. He got his punishment for it. Whether it's too extreme or not, I'll leave it at that.
Yep.
But going into that situation, KD was a threat. Like 2 Chainz was singing the song. He was a threat. And KD came out scorching. KD is the best player on the planet when he's healthy. KD could go down as one of the greatest players ever because of his skill set and because of his size. And with that being said, even though he's sacrificing Achilles, KD will be iconic. People couldn't believe, again, not bringing up Westbrook. Westbrook is going to be talked about for the next 30 years because of his triple. Yes, he will. Yes, he will, because his triple doubles, and he's going to be talking about how crazy of a player he was. He's going to be talking about, we talk about
Oscar 0 championships.
That's right now. Now, he still may win a championship, but he's still iconic. KD and all these other players that plays, they just good players that come in and out. It's a lot of good players from the early 2000s that we very rarely talk about.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? But players that kind of stood out a little bit, and that's the reason why I made that reference. Now KD is going, because of sympathy or because of just appreciation for who he is, KD is going to be up there as man, we really didn't appreciate how great this dude was. His handle, sniper, easy money sniper, like he puts on his Twitter handle. That man can shoot from another area code, shoot from a different country. I'm in Australia shooting in China. That's KD. Yeah, that's right? KD. So with that being said, not to keep prolonging it,
who you got for Game 6?
Who I got for
tonight?
Game 6?
Let's go into Game 6. Yeah.
Hype-wise, I got Golden State. No hype, I got Toronto. Hype-wise, Game 7, I'm hoping that Golden State win it.
So you're saying it's going 7?
I'm hoping that it goes 7 because, and this is going to scare all you Golden State fans, but now I'm rooting for Golden State.
You flip-flopped? You're waffling on your...
I am. I'm flip-flopping my earlier prediction. Chris talked to me the other day, and then I talked with Chris earlier today.
Chris said, who?
Chris Curtis. Chris Curtis.
Yeah.
Chris asked me about who I got tonight, and I said I got Golden State. And the reason why I said it in my hype because I want to see them boys come back. They under an extreme amount of adversity right now.
Toronto's not?
They are. But
the first championship, the whole nation is behind them.
Yeah,
you want to talk about pressure?
But
that's a lot of pressure, man.
But the magnifying glass now to me is on Golden State. I see Golden State in a whole nother light right now. I don't see them as this dominant, monstrous team.
I still do, man. Even with they've done it before without KD. So why would they not be dominant? They were dominant the first time they won. The second time they won, or they did lose. They were up 3-1
right.
The second time that they played LeBron, but he did have a full team that year.
I see them as the Mark Jackson Golden State Warriors to this time.
Really? Even with Steve Kerr?
I see him with Steve Kerr. I see him as the
Why do people keep thinking this, man? This blows my mind.
I know, because it don't take much to blow your mind, because the way you think.
Oh, fine.
I'm saying, it don't take much. Everybody don't think like Seth.
Right.
But and if you did, you probably have a higher IQ, and you probably be smart and enunciate your words a little bit better. However, if you think like me, then you got a little versatility where you can, you don't have to be as perfect all the time. So with that being said,
but all of America doesn't like Golden State now,
right?
Because we all have Golden State fatigue,
like Patriots fatigue.
Yes, like Alabama fatigue. So I don't think, in my opinion, in my no hype opinion, I think there's more pressure on Toronto to close this out because you got the whole entire country behind them. What is there, 13 million people? I know there's not the same amount of people in Canada as there is in California, but. First championship, never been there before.
Right.
Everyone's behind them.
Right.
They're already up 3-2. You want to talk about pressure?
Right.
When it was 3-1, they didn't have a lot of pressure, in my opinion. But now that it's 3-2 going back to Oracle, it's like we have to now without KD. It's like do or die because if they bring it back to 7 in Toronto, I think Golden State would have the advantage in Toronto for Game 7 if it goes that far.
And I can't argue with you. That your hype and no hype on that is perfect, spot on. From my perspective. I'm thinking Golden State dealing with this whole KD swirl, this whole winning for KD, management and ownership, which is considered a first-class organization, is being scrutinized for the way that they handle.
They shouldn't be scrutinized, man, because people play injured all the time.
People play injured all the time.
All the time.
But when you got Lumi coming back and he's looked at, he's a hero.
Injured. He's out. Is he going to play?
He's out now, but he took one for the team. He got some fluid put in his chest so that
he took one for the team.
And then Clay came back hamstring.
He's at 60%.
And this is all that KD's looking at, and that's what forced KD to get back out there and play. So with that being said, a lot of people are speculating that Golden State put unnecessary pressure on KD, and then Miss Durant, she came out.
The fans did it.
The mom came out the other day and said the doctors said that this wasn't going to happen. The doctor said that it was a.
So we got to blame somebody.
So somebody's trying to blame. And if you talking doctor, when you start saying the doctors didn't give you any chance
were
that
Achilles. Were they team doctors? Were they outside?
She said that I'm sure that they team doctors.
Yeah.
And you got these billion-dollar doctors who can't tell you there's a chance that this Achilles is going to pop when the Achilles is that close to the calf.
I'm sure the doctors didn't say 100%. Hey, 100% you'll be fine. I'm sure there's a percentage in there.
I'm just saying she got on Good Morning America and said the doctor said that he would be okay, and that at worst the only thing that can happen is that he can re-injure that calf. Anybody knows that if you got a dysfunction to the body, we know this as trainers. If one area of the body is dysfunctional, then you're gonna overcompensate with another part of the body. And that's exactly where the Achilles pop. Yeah. So with that being said, to kind of land that plane on this, make a long story short, I'm saying Golden State because I believe that Golden State has to win it now. They got it's no more just trying to chase legendary teams. we got to win this for KD. And with that emotion going on, I'm a person that can get caught up in that emotions and kind of support that.
But with all that emotion, they're going to get burned out too early because they're going to try too hard and they're going to play out of their game and out of their synergy. And I think Toronto's going to take it for them tonight.
What happened in the last 3 minutes of that game? Toronto went straight to bed and wet it. They went straight to bed and wet it. They had that game.
I'll give you that.
Golden State.
But then you learn by your mistakes. This is a great learning experience for them. Take that in Game 6. Yeah, Game 6
Can they learn by their mistakes? Because
Sure.
Golden State can miss 5 shots and come back and hit 10 more shots. Golden State can turn over the ball 4 times and not get rattled. Toronto.
But Toronto's got a great defense.
Yeah, but Toronto experience plays a key factor, Seth. If you've never been there before, Golden State understands how tight everything is in the last 2-3 minutes.
Right.
You can play a smooth game from the beginning. It's how you close it. And that's where I give Golden State the edge. If they can stay close with Toronto going to that last 2-3 minutes, Steve Kerr, Steph, Clay, Draymond, I'm taking them because of experience and because of poise. They played just as they made a lot of mistakes. Boogie was the main culprit, making all those mistakes towards the last 4 or 5 minutes of that. But they knew how to make the play when the play needed to be made. And that's the difference between...
Can you say that, or can you say it because Toronto kind of wet the bed at the end?
Both.
So which is it?
Both. If I scare you enough, I can make you wet the bed. I go, blah! You whoop! That's oh man, this is a problem. That's what Golden State. I seen it happen. I was again telling my wife, because that's my co-pilot when it comes to sports and watching talk shows. We sitting there watching it, and I said, I see it.
Yeah.
Steph hit that shot. Clay hit that shot. I said, they coming in. They coming in. They coming in hot. They coming in hot. Toronto ain't going to be able to handle it. As soon as that timeout was called and Golden State came back out scorching, I said, they got their swagger. This is the champion coming out. They turned their altar beast. If you anybody who played the
I know Sega. I got you. But we're running out of time, but hype, I'm going to say Toronto. No hype? Oh, it's tough, man. Oh, this is a tough one for the no hype. Got to take that Phantom hat off, that, Golden State fatigue hat off. Very difficult.
Can't underestimate the heart of the champion. 3 times down, just said it.
All right. I'll go no hype. I'm going to say Golden State by 1.
Okay.
Golden State by 2, but my hype, Toronto.
Okay.
I'm a Toronto fan tonight for the first time in my life.
And if Golden State lose, all you Golden State fans, I can't wait to
I can't wait. Wait. There's a term. It's called Schadenfreude. It's a German term. It means joy at the expense of other people's misery. So maybe we can experience some of that.
What's that called?
Tonight. Schadenfreude.
Schadenfreude. Go Golden State.
Yes.
Go Golden State.
But to close this
out,
Golden
State.
I know we don't talk about this enough. We need to get more info on this. There was a Game 7 last night in hockey. Great for St. Louis. First time in their entire history, 51 or 52 years, that they won a cup. Good for them. I was rooting for them. I think
Boston wet the bed again.
I think they played too tight. I watched a little bit of the third period here with my hockey guys that I was training last night when they were up 2-0. The score was 2-0. And then Boston tried to either they were playing, they were too hard. They were try-hards, you know what I'm saying? But you kind of have to because, Game 7, we're down 2.
So it's not that rookie goalie from St. Louis who was like Spider-Man out there.
24 saves last night.
23 out of 24 saves. He stopped 23 out of 24 goals. How you like that action hockey? I'm watching.
So good for St. Louis. Hockey starts again in 110 days in case anybody's counting. I'm not counting. I am kind of counting. I'm
gonna start counting because I think they making me like hockey. 23 hours. That's a rookie, and that boy was cool. What's his name? Burger starts with a B.
I couldn't even tell you. And that's the sad part, man. We need to watch more hockey.
Well, he was cool. I liked the post-game interview, and he was cussing, and he's really laid back, and I think he's gonna be he's gonna be a star in the NHL, like Dominic Haskett and all them other great. Saying they said they didn't have a rookie goalie.
He'd been in the team for 30 games he played.
Right. Yeah. And he was just waiting on his chance. He was actually fourth string, and he worked his way all the way up and waiting on that opportunity.
And St. Louis was the last team, was in last place in all the NHL January 2nd. So that goes to show, anything can happen, especially in hockey, which is why in basketball, you already know who's going to go to the title game every year just about. For the last 4 or 5 years, we all knew Golden State and Cleveland. But in hockey, it's always like, we don't know, and that's what makes it fun and interesting.
So you got to get those Doc Octopus goalies out there who can... That boy was all over the place yesterday. That's some good stuff. I love it. I
don't know what that was, but that was a good
impersonation.
Hey,
you know, I see things three-dimensionally. So when I see a game, I just don't see hockey. I look at it from a superhero point of view. I look at it from a biblical point of view. It's a whole lot of stuff that goes on up here. I need help. Any psychiatrists out there, I need to talk to y'all.
With that being said, again, the next time we air this on YouTube, we're going to be in the actual studio, so it'll be fun. And again,
Peacock.
Any comments, anything you guys want to say or add, share us, like us, all this stuff.
Point, thumbs down,
anything you want. Yeah, let us know that we suck.
Give us
feedback, all that stuff.
But you gotta like that. Hit that like button that's on that, what's the name, on the YouTube. At the bottom. Yeah. Hit that like, then hit that subscribe. Then after that, hit that share button. That's what that should be. And then you send that off. And then, because we need to get 1,000 likes, because we want more likes out there. And we appreciate y'all help and y'all support. I ain't like that. Like, subscribe.
But we have nothing to point to because I can't edit this yet.
But when we do this and you see YouTube, you're going to see I'm pointing directly at the like sign. And then that's the thumbs. That's the thumbs up, the thumbs down. And then that's the share sign.
I'm going to go back and see if that's accurate.
Yeah,
that'd be kind of cool if it was.
Kind of close to it.
Yeah.
You know.
Right on. All right, guys. We'll see you next time.
Yes.
All right.
All right.